you just came off of two top two finishes, which is incredible. Not too many people can say that
Thank
they
you.
can do that, right? You're in a very small company. It's pretty awesome. So do you feel like you're a women's bodybuilder yet? Like, has it sunk in? Like, this is it? Like, this is exactly the
Oh,
decision?
I'm definitely staying. Yeah, like I'm definitely enjoying it. You know, after that was the big concern going into Van Isle, I just kept like having this little voice in my head throughout prep, like you're gonna be too small the entire time. So getting on stage at that show and seeing that, like, okay, they like me, it looks like I fit in this class. Yeah, I'm definitely here to stay. I mean, I can't go back. When I go back in, that was the whole thing, right? I did so Puerto Rico was my third show of my first pro season, and like my first two shows did not hit conditioning on the mark. So like Puerto Rico, we nailed conditioning. It was like the leanest I've ever been in my life. The only time I've truly ever been lean on stage at that point, right? And it still wasn't enough. It was sixth place. So it was like, this is the best I've ever looked. And it's a sixth place. So, you know, and then we look at the video going back and like, I just look like a linebacker up there. And when I say this, I want to clarify, I'm not trying to say like, I'm so muscular, I look so huge. It's just, I have a really big bone structure. I'm 5'8", like, you know, I'm 170 pounds on stage. Like I'm just a big girl. That was kind of the switch. The judges at that show just pretty much told me, you know, bring up your upper body or take down your lower body. And like, I'm not going to take down my lower body. Like, I'm not doing that. So here we are.
Yes, we can't get rid of those legs.
No.
So how are you feeling after the New York Pro? I mean, you did the Vancouver, but the New York has been around a long time. So to place top two, how's that feel?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm grateful and I'm happy to be doing well in women's bodybuilding, but you know, I go to these shows to try to win. So obviously I had my big cry when I got off stage, you know, pulled my shit together and asked for critique. And I hope that we can go hit it out of the park in Toronto.
You seem like the type that, you know, you do well under pressure. And I think that's what it's all about, right? Being able to, in this sport, because there is a lot of pressure from ourselves, pressure from maybe, you know, people around us, even if they're supporting us. I mean, there's still just a lot of pressure, especially being competitive and wanting to be the best.
For sure.
So, you know, I think that, again, you've shown, even though, again, you're hard on yourself, and I know I'm very hard on myself too, that at least you could deal with some pressure. You could deal with some pressure. What do you like about being in this division? What do you like about being in women's bodybuilding so far?
I mean, it's definitely fun to not have to imagine that I've got like a cap on size. That's cool. Obviously we all like being in a division where people like us, so I like that better.
Yes.
And you know, I think I will be able to have more fun with the posing too. I don't think I've like kind of given myself the freedom to do that yet, but I think I'm going to enjoy that once I kind of get my own personality out on that. But yeah, it just seems like a better fit overall.
But can you walk me through how you got into competing and bodybuilding to begin with?
Yeah. Well, my parents owned gyms when I was growing up. A couple girls at my gym at the time that did bodybuilding. I think looking back, one was like a physique chick. Maybe they were both physique girls. I don't know. But I just remember seeing them and being like, I want to do that. Turned pro in 2019. I did my very first show in 2015. I think the end of 2015. Yeah, I went to I went to USA's that year for the first time. So it took me 4 years to turn pro. 2016, sorry. So I guess three years. We just could never I could never nail the conditioning down. I just could never. It was like, I don't know. That was just a big struggle for me. The amount of time that anyone spends on any hobby. And it's like, I've been doing this for 10 years. Like, what?
10 years. So you have been training for 10 years or
no. 2013. So yeah, I guess it's been 10 years. Yeah.
And how old are you?
I will turn 32 in July. You know, we've been able to do the training business and bodybuilding, just the way having something that you genuinely love to do every day, whether it's, you know, whenever I'm actually competing or I'm coaching, like I do genuinely love it. So I'm grateful that, you know, I don't know, you worry that whenever you're in your 20s and you're getting married and you're making your business, and that you're going to wake up at 30 and be like, I don't like any of this, but that has not happened yet. So I'm grateful for that. I just spent a lot of years, you know, like converging the two. I think just like being a hot mess and trying to do what I liked at the same time. So we got some multitasking done.
But this sport, I feel it helps us to have more accountability and responsibility than we would if we had regular, you know, other jobs. So it kind of puts us in another tier.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it plays over into your relationships and your work ethic and all of that. You just get used to being disciplined and wanting to be better all the time, and it pushes into all the other facets of your life, you know.
And that's how they say it goes, right? You know, it's like you free your mind and the rest follows, right? It's like once you realize what you want, where you want to go, what you don't want to do, it's like you spend every single day doing the opposite and wanting to be better and better and better. And that's what this bodybuilding business is all about, is taking where you are, seeing where you want to go, and just every day chipping away to get better, to get closer and closer and closer. And so it goes hand in hand.
I wish more people got that, because I know the perception, at least I live in the Midwest, you know, so the perception here is you get the meathead comments and you get the like freak comments, but I wish more people got like that it is literally just a self-betterment thing. Like it has a lot less to do with the actual vanity of the muscles and how you look, but it's just self-betterment, you know?
Yeah. Because of all the principles you have to apply in order to be successful at a sport like this. Then that spills over into how well it translates into you, the athlete. What made you and Ryan get into business together? What came first?
Well, I think we kind of, well, I don't know. We met and kind of like never left each other. He like, I don't know, came over to my house one day, and I don't think we've spent like more than, I don't know, 10 days apart since. So, he was running his own personal training business at the time. I was running mine. And I think we just kind of like meshed it together over time. And it has definitely been like, you know, it's not like super easy to run a business with your partner. I will say that there's been struggles in the beginning, like there is with anything. I think anyone that's married will tell you there are struggles in the beginning. We like to be around each other. I'll speak for myself, I guess. He might be sitting here rolling his eyes. I like to be around him. He's like, you know, he's really my closest friend. We don't spend a lot of time on top of each other at work, so it doesn't feel like we're like, you know, it's not too much time together. We have our own clients, but we'll come together on some clients. You know, he'll help me with this, I'll help him with that, whatever. But yeah, we just, I don't know, probably within the first year or two kind of converged and have been doing it ever since.
That's pretty awesome that you are able to mesh both work and, you know, love life together. What would be your secret to being able to do that? If you had,
I don't know, man. I don't even know that I could like, this sounds super cheesy. I don't know that I could like give anyone else advice, because I think that we're so much alike in so many weird ways, but we're like so different in so many others that we just kind of like piece together perfectly. So I don't know. I think he and I have always like been very like brutally honest with each other with, you know, business or bodybuilding, because, you know, he coaches me too. So that's a whole nother like weird dynamic that I think people look at and they're probably like, what the hell?
Yes, I want you to talk about that. Talk about that dynamic before you move on. While you're on
beginning, it was like that was very difficult for us in the beginning. We I don't even remember. I don't know. I just know that, like, you know, imagine you coach clients. Yeah. Okay, so imagine you live with your clients and you like watch their sleeping habits and their eating habits. Like you see every little detail.
The things that they probably don't want you to see. Yeah.
Yeah. just things that they're
Like
not
he,
even
like
thinking
big brother
about.
type status. You're like,
Yeah, yeah, like, or even just like, you know, you stayed up too late, you didn't get enough sleep, like you're working too many hours, like your coach is very aware of all of those things, you know. So in the beginning it was a challenge. We went through a point where it was like, you know, we can't do this, we got to try something different. I tried working with some other coaches, and no disrespect to any other coaches, I think he's like, I'm biased probably, but I don't really think I am. I think he's just a really good coach. I trust him more than anyone else. You've got a coach that is like, you know, a 7 out of 10, or one that's a 10 out of 10, but 7 out of 10 cares more about your progress. You go 7 out of 10 all day, because it's how much care is put into it, and no one is ever going to care about my stuff more than he is. So I don't know. It just works well for us. I will never ever work with anybody else. So
well, you hit the nail on the head as far as the key thing in a relationship between an athlete and a coach is care. Are
mhm.
you caring about the athlete? Not just about how they're going to do, but how are they doing?
Yeah,
What do
yeah.
they need? What is working? What isn't working?
Or even just little things. I think mentality is a bigger percentage of your overall package, as far as like how your body responds. I think your mentality is a bigger part of that than we give it credit for. And so he's very aware of, like, you know, if I'm really like spinning out and I'm anxious, or if I'm feeling good about things, like, or even just he can kind of decide how he wants to deliver information to me, because he sees how I'm going to handle it. Where, you know, most coaches, you're going to send an email and you're not going to see client's response. Like, he's able to see if I'm like, you know, upset over his reaction, what, you know what I'm saying. So like,
Yes.
it's just the mentality is put into it as well.
And I'm glad that you also talked about moods and, you know, the anxiety and things of that nature, because that's important, because that is a part, you know, whether you suffer and have that or not, being a competitor and all the things going on and all the things that we do and take and things of that nature, it can throw
Mhm.
can throw us off. So it's important that we can have these conversations and say, hey, coach, you know, I'm not feeling so hot today. Hey, coach, you know, yesterday I was feeling pretty calm, pretty good. Now today, because of XYZ, I'm not feeling it. And
Yeah.
have the coach be able to say, okay, I hear you. And, you know, you move accordingly.
Right.
And that's a big part of this sport. I love talking about that, because to me, I want to break that whole persona of us only like showing ourselves as like having it all together because
Uh-huh.
we are bodybuilders. We're just like everybody else.
There definitely needs to be. I was just thinking that the other day. I wish there was more open dialogue, especially from female competitors, about that piece, because it is just, I think 60% of it is keeping this tame down most of the time. So I wish more people were open about it. I'm happy to be as transparent about, if you want to know how crazy I am, I'm pretty fucking crazy. So, you know, anything I can be open about, I'm happy to, but I wish more people felt that way.
Yeah, well, I've been pretty open. Now I'm going to be a little bit more open about it, because I feel we're at a better place in society with acceptance. And I've also gotten at a better way. I've also found a better way to explain it, because back in the day, you say depression, you say bipolar, you say certain things like that, and everybody runs for the hills. And now
Yeah.
I've gotten to a point where, because I was diagnosed at 21, and I've had type 1 since I was born. And through life experiences, it manifested full blown again in around like 2021. And so I had a hard struggle with it. And so I say all this to say that to me, it is important to have these conversations, because I do represent this part of the community. What my biggest concern is, and what I really want to like push for competitors, is to really be in check and in tune with themselves and their mental health, because I feel like it also affects how we make decisions as competitors. The younger generation, you guys talk about it. See, it was like my age and older, it was like, we don't want to talk about it. No, you know, it's just taboo thing. But now it's like,
Yeah.
no, hey, I want to say, hey, I have anxiety. Hey, I want to say I have this, I have that, I have this. And it's just, it feels so good for people like me now to not have to like hide in crippling fear. The bodybuilder isn't, it's important. I think that we do show that you can have these moments, but you can become something better. So it's
No,
not the
yeah,
crazy thing that it used to be.
I
And
think so many women would appreciate that.
what causes our moods to like fluctuate? What we eat, what we put in our bodies. So now I'm getting to the nitty gritty of that and going, okay, now as a competitor, I might not be able to eat certain foods that I thought I could eat. So now I'm assessing how my diet's going to be moving forward. How am I going to put on the proper muscle?
Food is a huge part of that. Look at like just normal people that don't do performance enhancing drugs. Like, yeah, our school lunches and all that. Like we've talked about that. Like we're aware of that. It's totally, there's definitely validity in that.
Now, do you do diets and nutrition as well with your clients?
Uh-huh.
And do you have these conversations with them as far as not so much pre-existing, but do you talk to them about if they do have sensitivity or mood things like that?
We do. So with all of our clients, we do weekly check-ins, and a lot of them are also like one-on-one or group clients. So I'm seeing them face to face. Yeah, I'm probably too open with most of them, and they're probably too open with me. I would probably consider us like half counselors half the time. So yeah, we talk about pretty much everything with that. I can't say that I've like specifically asked clients to like log their mood based on what they've eaten, but you know, you're going to hear about, if there's direct correlation, you're going to hear about it on those check-ins for sure.
Right. Well, that's good, and that's important that you are so open and thorough with your clients so they can say what's working, what's not working, and have those, conversations, not feel like they're scared.
Once you've had like a bad coach or two, like I think everyone's had like at least one that sticks out in their head that really like cements those things in you that you don't want to be. I think it's very easy to kind of identify, especially coaching women. I think that scared position, not to like stereotype, but I think there are just some things that women are more apprehensive to talk about than men are. So I try to really push that with my clients. I will talk to you about anything. I will tell you anything about myself. You can, vice versa. So yeah, I try to keep that very, very open.
What is the most rewarding thing about being a coach?
I like my prep clients. I'm not going to say I don't like my prep clients. I do. But I love a good like transformation story, and I don't even mean that like I like it for my marketing material, but whenever, for example, like I've got a client that started with me, I don't know, 3 years ago and lost like almost 100 pounds. She's now getting ready to do her third bodybuilding show. Like just watching the way that because again, these are people that come in and are with me for an hour 4 or 5 times a week most of the time. Her in particular, just watching the difference in the way they carry themselves or the way they do things in their life, like that's really cool, man. Like just knowing that like you can have that effect on someone's life in a positive way, like it's just really, some of those are like, they're cool.
Yeah, the inner transformation.
Yes.
Yeah, the stuff that only you being a part of the process can truly see. It's cool. I see some bodybuilders now that are more open. They post their wins, their losses in life, not just the stage. And I'm like, yes, I'm here for it. That's what it's all about. So we can also be more than just the stage. That's why I want you guys to be. I want us all to be more than the stage.
Oh, for sure. If we could just get everyone talking like that, that would be great, but take away from it being a highlight reel, because that's really what it is for everyone, and it's always going to be to a degree, but if we could at least get on there and talk about some things that aren't fitness related. I get that, but I feel the same way with my social media when I'm like, all I really know to talk about, because I don't like to talk about myself, is like, here's progress pictures or here's a training clip. That's about all I got.
So what is a message you'd like to leave a young girl that is trying to get started in the fitness industry?
I think the biggest thing with fitness is you just got to know that it's a very slow grind and it takes a very long time, and it is very easy to get caught up in looking in the mirror and thinking that you're not going anywhere. And while I think we are in a time where it's almost like we're almost too positive with stuff, so I hate to even go on this tangent, but the comparing yourself to others, like there needs to be a little bit of that. Obviously, we're competitors. We are comparing ourselves to others, but you just gotta be easy with yourself with that. You know, like we're 10 years into this. It's not like a 2-year game. So I think people just get too ate up with trying to do it quickly.
How ready are you for Toronto in a week?
Real fucking ready, girlfriend.
All right.
Real fucking ready. No, I feel really good. I again don't want to sound like someone that's like, oh, my dog died and my whatever, you know, my dog ate my homework. I was like, I had some weird stomach bug like the 3 days leading into that show, and then I dropped the ball with the tan, and so I've got a couple things that I feel like even if we didn't progress at all in the next like week, which I already feel like we have, I feel like things will be better. So I'm excited to go showcase something better on stage.
All right. Well, I am excited to see you take the stage in Toronto and to continue watching you do your thing in women's bodybuilding. Again, welcome to
Thank you.
This division, and I'm wishing you nothing but the best as you continue to, you know, step out there and go for that big W. And it's not a matter of if, it's always a matter of when, girl.
That's right. That's right.
So again, thank you for talking with me and sharing your story on her story. And
Anytime.
This has been Julia Whitesel and Danielle Willis. Until next time.